Welcome back to A Faster Me. This video is brought to you by Sophisticated and Swanky. You can see there's some jumpsuits there. You can visit the site and anything you purchase, AMF.
2024.
That's right. Forgot the year. I was about to say 2025. So this is the Taylor Elizabeth Clifford Grand Prix. And, you know, it looks beautiful. Starting the race, this is the women's 4-5 and masters 35 plus.
And juniors.
And juniors. So number of people out there, but all scored separately. So the weather looks beautiful, but just about 10 minutes prior to this, the rain was coming down hard. I went and did a little warm-up lap before the men's Cat 5 race started, and I was just drenched. My socks were soggy. I was feeling pretty miserable, but that kind of played into our decision to try to just make the race fast and kind of have some separation, because really it's not so bad taking the corners by yourself. I think people get real scared of the water and, you know, kind of break into the corners, but
Yeah.
it's not so bad.
Yeah, and I think it was a good strategy. It was kind of fun. Obviously, I think the strategy could have been pulled off a little bit better, but from the beginning here, Anastasia took off and kind of set the pace a little bit, and we wanted it to get stretched out so you wouldn't have to go 3 and 4 wide into these wet corners. It doesn't look so bad now. You can see it's pretty soggy, but like Ellen was saying, just 10 minutes before or whatever, when the Cat 4 5s or 5s were out there, it was like completely soaked. They had a crash or two, stuff like that. So, no one in California really likes racing in the rain, but I think the women did a good job of just attacking and counterattacks and just keeping it stretched out. And we got 3 riders in this race here. We got Anastasia, Ellen, and Ashley.
And Anastasia was doing the 35 plus. Ashley and I are doing the category 4. That's Kim in front of me. She joined iSpeed this year. It's great to see her out doing some racing.
Yeah, I think Kim took a year off to have a baby a couple years ago. She used to race a few years ago pretty regularly, and then she took some time off to have a baby, and she came back, and she's looking good, looking strong, and just good to see her back in the field again. And I think that's Naomi right in front of Kim. Naomi's super strong as well, rides for Evoke, and I think Emmy's up there in the front as well.
And I didn't know, who was doing, which category. So, there are a number of women who could be in some different categories. So just kind of out there racing. I knew a few people in which category they were in, but not everybody.
Yeah, and I think, just knowing some of the people that we know in this category, I'm sorry, not in this category, but knowing what category they race in. So the way to figure it out kind of is the girls that are for sure Cat 3, they basically can't be in this race unless they're racing either Masters or Junior. So that's one way to look at it, and pretty much everybody else has to be a Cat 4 if they're not a Masters or Junior. 4 or 5. And that's Ashley Baker there to the left. She's, I think, going to take off here and do her little attack or counter attack. And yeah, like I said, we just kind of kept firing off barrels. We got a 3-shooter here with Ashley, Anastasia, and Ellen. Kind of got 3 barrels here, and we're just going to keep firing them off repeatedly.
And I gotta say, it was probably one of the most fun races I've ever been in. And there's definitely some room for improvement of after attacking, getting back in. But you can see Ashley does a nice little effort here and
got the speed up pretty good. It was up to 27, 28 miles per hour.
And I'm a little bit further back than I should be. I should maybe be 5th wheel or something. It looks like I'm about 10th, maybe 9th, I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely have to be up there, especially if your teammate's trying to attack or get on the front. You definitely have to be up there to just kind of monitor the situation, see what's going on, and see if you can help. Obviously, you launch your attack here. Definitely don't want anybody getting a break. Don't want it slowing down. It's a great job of you getting it up to 29 miles per hour there, and just taxing people's legs, making it a little bit fun, and also with the wet conditions, making it safe.
And that's something I haven't, really done a lot of. I haven't, been able to execute some tactics with teammates. So I think typically there's one or two, sometimes the most three people racing. But it was fun to just kind of practice something, and I can definitely see a lot of room where I need to improve of just getting back in quicker. So sometimes you'll see I go all the way to the back to recover, but it was nice to be able to recover. So I think, fitness was fairly decent.
Yeah, it looks kind of cool. Look at those water drops coming off your front tire. It's kind of cool to see that. But anyway, yeah, I think it was good. A lot of the other riders that were in the race said it was fun that you guys kept attacking. Obviously, sometimes they're getting a free ride with you guys doing the work on the front. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just fun, just out there racing your bike and just having fun today. And it pays off. We have some good finishes. I won't spoil it until the end. But yeah, we definitely got some good finishes and a lot of good things going on in this race, despite the rain.
And here I shut it down. I'm just doing zone 2. Little more, but I think the group is with me now, so I think I'm gonna really shut it down here, or maybe someone else is gonna go. But yeah, you see I'm just soft pedaling now.
Yeah, and I think too, that's like you said, just some things to improve on. After you do your attack, and once the group catches you again, it's good. Like you see, Anastasia is now firing another bullet here, but just you don't have to pull after they catch you. You don't have to keep pulling. It doesn't matter how slow you make it after they catch you, and the slower you make it, the better the next attack is, the more effective the next attack is. Because if you slow down and everybody kind of wants a rest, when Anastasia or one of your teammates fires the next bullet, that's going to give them more separation the slower it is. So yeah, you don't have to. You're not obligated to put any effort on the front once the group is back with you again.
One thing that makes it kind of difficult is just being able to kind of snap to try to get on whoever's chasing that move. So trying to get on, third wheel or whatever, when you've just done an attack, it's a little bit harder. So I think those repeat efforts can definitely improve, because I am recovering, but I'm too far back. And Ashley and I are both kind of back here recovering, and one of us should be up there closer to the front.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying, you definitely have to pay attention. Once your effort's over and the group has caught you, go ahead and shut it down. Don't spend extra effort staying on the gas for an extra minute or 30 seconds or whatever. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Once you're caught, you're caught.
And I will say, I think for sure Anastasia and I did too much of staying on the front instead of shutting it down completely.
Yeah, and Anastasia for sure, because I remember watching the race, and it seemed like every single time she came around, she was pulling the peloton. So yeah, like I said, once the attack is over, or once the group catches back up to you, yeah, you're just wasting kind of energy if you're just pulling them around the course. Yeah, as you can see here, it's kind of bunched up, so definitely it's slow. If you or Ashley's recovered, one of you guys should kind of take off again.
And I think we were going to rotate, so I think it was Ashley's turn, but I think I ended up feeling maybe recovered, and this might be where I attack again. I can't remember, but I do remember that I went out of rotation just because we were kind of slowed.
Yeah, and it kind of doesn't matter. Sometimes it's going to be that way. And I know Ashley hasn't been riding as much this year, just busy with a lot of stuff going on. So I know that she had said at one point, her fitness isn't the greatest at this point. So it may have taken her just a little bit longer to recover. And I think Anastasia is just still pulling right now on the front, which is good. She likes to do that as well. And she has some kind of pretty good, endurance as far as doing that type of work. But yeah, just overall, if you're attacking, you definitely don't want to do the attacks and all the pulls.
This section of the road with the puddles and some of the pavement was a little bit beat up, so it was not such a fun section. So it was okay all the way to the left or over to the right, but that middle, like around the center line, there's some pretty beat up sections of pavement.
Yeah, it sucks too just being in the wheel tracks here because you get all this tire spray, and that's just not so fun. That's one of the not so fun parts about riding in the rain. Yeah, I can't see who that is up on the front now, pulling in front of Anastasia.
Or pulling right next to Anastasia?
No, she was in the front for a second. I'm not sure who that is. Now with both of us here, I'm not sure why both of us are on the front here, but we have two people on the front here doing the work for everyone.
Little indecisive.
Yeah, I mean, the watts are low, and you're still kind of controlling the peloton a little bit, but just everyone behind you is doing even less work. So, and it looks like Anastasia's trying to get off the front. That's why she's riding over to the left. But nobody's willing to come through. Basically, everybody kind of wants it slow and easy.
And I know I didn't want to attack from the very front, so I backed off and then tried to launch from like fifth wheel there. So.
Yeah, that's what you do, though. You definitely don't want to attack right on the front where everyone can see what you're doing, see you preparing for the attack, and just be right on your wheel. So you definitely want to make them work for it a little bit.
And it was nice to hear kind of what you were saying from the sidelines. I think one time it was like a bit of a gap, and then one time it was they're right there, so kind of knowing to shut it down or not.
Yeah, and I know we have an active group back there. So like with Emmy, Naomi, Jessica, most of them aren't going to let you get too big of a gap, especially they're going to get on it quick. They don't want it to split. They don't want you guys in a breakaway. So yeah, I know they're pretty smart riders and all that. So they're definitely not going to make it easy for you.
And it's funny how expectations kind of play into things. So sometimes I haven't wanted to sign up for a race if it was raining. I don't think we even checked the weather for this one. So we had just signed up. And so once you're just committed to racing, at least for me, then I just kind of change my mindset. So if I know I'm racing and it's raining, I just kind of switch my mindset to be racing in the rain.
Yeah, and I had this on the calendar. It wasn't one of our official target races, but I had it on the calendar from the beginning. I wanted to come out and support. Definitely wanted to support Bart and his family and Majestic Cycling. So I had it on the calendar. I told everyone, hey, it's not one of our target races, but it's paid for if you want to jump in this. And I kind of encouraged our whole group. I was really looking forward to it, but unfortunately I crashed the week before and wasn't able to race. So I'm on the sidelines in a sling, or I actually didn't wear my sling, but I should have been in the sling. But yeah, we definitely were going to come to this one no matter what. So we had a good showing. I think we had 5 people racing this weekend. So yeah, it's pretty good. We definitely were going to support either way it goes, though.
And here we go again. I'm too far off the back, trying to recover with a little next attack that went.
Yeah, this is one of your, like I said, in this field, you definitely have the fitness and ability. You've done this for the last couple years of kind of dropping yourself and then chasing back on. And like I said, most people can't do that. A lot of times once they're separated, you're separated. I definitely can't do it. If I get separated in any of my races, especially now in the 50 plus, if I get completely dropped, I'm not going to just roll up and catch the peloton again. So you definitely have the fitness, just got to tighten up some of our tactics or, some of our efficiency. And I think you'll be definitely at the front of this field for sure, and probably ready to even jump into the P123s.
Yes, it's about racing smart versus hard.
And sometimes you race smart and hard.
I'd say more often I race hard and not quite as smart. But it's getting better. And having fitness enables you to race a little bit smarter as well as harder, but having the fitness to be able to kind of recover, to be able to make some moves is good.
And once again, I can't see who's on the front there. I think Anastasia's maybe second wheel. So I'm pretty sure she probably already attacked here.
Mm-hmm.
And there
And
you go.
Here I go again.
Uh-oh, that was max power right there, 714.
It would be interesting to see what's going on behind you. So, is this a lap rider?
Yeah, I think so. I think there was maybe two girls that were lapped. One, I forgot her name, the junior rider from, I think, Boost. And then that rider there from maybe Stage 2, if I'm not mistaken. It's like as soon as the road gets wet, like some people are just not that comfortable out there cornering. And, you know, honestly, most of the time, you're not going to just fall. I know everyone thinks you are as soon as it gets wet. You kind of want to stay off the paint lines at lean angle, lower your tire pressure a little bit. But for the most part, you're not going to just all of a sudden fall over just because the ground's wet.
The tires really are amazing.
Yeah, and honestly, all of us have ridden in the rain before, you know, group rides, whatever the case may be, and it's a hazard, you know, or it could be a hazard, especially if there's standing water or whatever. But yeah, overall, it's not as dangerous as we make it out to be, especially in smaller fields.
I don't think I'd mind it as much if it was not as cold. So feeling really cold and wet is not such a fun feeling. So if it was real warm out and had a nice little rainstorm, I think I'd be a little bit more okay with that.
Yeah, and for sure, like once you're out there for like 10, 20 minutes and you start getting all soggy, like, yeah, that's definitely not a good feeling. It's just good that the sun came out for you guys' race.
Yeah, but unfortunately feeling so soggy before even starting was not so fun.
Yeah, and especially for like Anastasia and different, you know, I don't know if Naomi did or not, but all the ladies that had to race 2 times today or wanted to race twice today had to, you know, all the soggy clothes and still had to do the P1, 2, 3 race later. And that race got pretty spicy also.
And there, Anastasia went to the front, and it looked a little bit less like an attack and just more like a hard effort.
Yeah, like she was just pulling there. Yeah, definitely right there, you got to do a better job of not letting every single person pass you. You know, I don't know if that's the entire field, but just about, you know. So it's just like when you're doing kind of pace line, sometimes your hardest effort is just getting back in the line. So, yeah, you definitely got to keep your speed up a little bit higher and get in the pace line. You'll save a lot more energy instead of doing these efforts on the back here. Yeah, you can see the roads drying out pretty fast here with the sun and a little bit of breeze.
The video really makes the weather look beautiful. I don't think it felt quite as beautiful out there, but I gotta say the video is really clear, so.
Yeah, Anastasia's definitely setting the pace for everyone. They're probably loving her a little bit. They don't, maybe not like these attacks, but they probably like her just doing the work up front.
And here, it was nice to have someone else do a little bit of an effort and just sit second wheel, so I enjoyed that.
Yeah, definitely got to be a little bit closer. Definitely get in that draft a little bit. But yeah, I think you're definitely better sitting up here. Looks like maybe a preem lap. She went into her drops. I don't know if she's gonna make maybe a little attack off the front here or not, but
She just did the little attack. I went up to 400 watts to get back to her wheel, and now looks like we've slowed down a little bit.
so I guess you just want to pull here too.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Because, yeah, it's definitely not an attack type effort like it should be, unless the watts just aren't matching.
No, that's
No.
not an attack. You're only going 20 miles per hour. You guys are just sitting on the front for no good reason.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different if you're gonna kind of run a little interference for like Ashley if she were to attack, but I think you guys are just sitting on the front there. And of course, no one wants to pull, and if you're willing to do the work, they're going to let you. Yeah, for the most part, this deep into the season, I know we're not deep, but we, got 4 races or so under our belts. So I think for the most part, you should be kind of getting an idea of how everyone's racing, who does what, who sits in, who attacks, stuff like that. And I think for the field that you have here, other than maybe Naomi sometime, I think for the most part, this is a sit-in type field. And then the young lady from Ironfly, I know she likes to do the long sprint. She's done it maybe 3 times now this year. So yeah, the young lady from Ironfly, I think she might be a junior. Kat is her name. But yeah, she typically does the long sprint, maybe with 1 lap to go, a little less than a lap to go. I know Emmy kind of sits in most of the time and waits for the sprint. So yeah, you just got to kind of start figuring out in your peloton like who does what. Jessica also is more of the sprinter type.
She raced a really smart race of just staying second, third wheel and racing smart this race.
Are you going to attack here?
I don't know. It sure does not look decisive, whatever I'm doing.
It looks like you're kind of gearing up for something. You're kind of eating a lot of wind, just riding off to the side. Not sure if you just wanted to be at the front to monitor it or not, or if you got something plotted here. Definitely doing low watts though, so it's not hurting you too much, but...
Yeah, this is my biggest weakness of just getting back over like 4th wheel or something.
Well, there is someone next to you you can see in the shadow there. Mm-hmm. So you're kind of offline. But definitely here, if you accelerate a little bit up to Jessica's wheel, it would then become yours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think in that situation, I don't know if you saw the rider up front kind of swerved over that manhole or whatever, but honestly, like, if it's not going to cause you to have a flat or a crash, you probably shouldn't react to it. It's not that big of a deal to run over a manhole. And for the most part, yeah, if it's flat or with the surface or kind of even with the surface, it's not going to cause you any damage. It's no big deal to just go straight over it. You may not want to be on that line, but once you're already on that line, it probably can cause potentially more harm swerving around it than just running over it. All right, you guys went past it for 1 whole lap, so I don't know if Ashley's gearing up or if you're going to gear up, but no, there was no attack this whole lap here. And we're down to about 3 to go, so I think when you get... I think when you guys come around this time, I pretty much tell you, like, yeah, there's definitely not going to be a breakaway. So I don't know if I tell you guys to kind of set up for a sprint or if you guys keep attacking.
Yeah, Ashley and I were talking about, trying to keep it fast, but...
Yeah, I think you guys probably should have set up now with 3 laps to go. You probably should have set up for a lead out now. Just see who was fresh, who's going to be the sprinter, and who you guys are going to work for, and then just kind of set it up for that. But it takes communication, obviously.
And those in-race adjustments, obviously need work, need more practice. Because I was kind of running through all those scenarios in my mind and just not knowing what is the best one to do.
Yeah, everybody's kind of taking a breather now, so all the good sprinters are kind of resting, saving their legs. It's funny, we haven't seen this video, so neither one of us kind of know what's going on here. It's our first time watching it. I got kind of backed up just from my injury. I got backed up on the video, so I haven't had a time to go through them or edit them or anything. So Yeah, I don't know what's going on, and Ellen kind of doesn't remember. It's been 3 weeks now, so.
And there might be 2 laps to go. I can't remember, but I think I was just thinking, okay, let's make it fast, and it just should have been a little bit later. So,
Well, and you got to communicate to your teammates what you're doing. If you're just making it fast, you got one of them. It should be for one of their benefit. It's not just you out here giving an effort. You have to communicate to them and say, "Hey, I'll stretch it out, and you two do a 2-person lead out or whatever with with 2 of your teammates. They can do a 2-person lead out if you're gonna keep it fast. Just so no one gets swarmed or no one attacks." But yeah, you definitely got to communicate so there's some type of method to the madness.
and I think Ashley and we did have a little communication. We were going to try to keep it fast for Anastasia. That wasn't as directly communicated, but it definitely shouldn't have been with, I'm almost positive 2 laps to go. So I should have probably waited with like 1 to go. Because once you're on the front, that hard effort, you're not holding that for a super long time. So,
Well, honestly, this is still a hard effort for you. 230 is still a hard effort. I think your FTP is somewhere around 220 right now. So you're pretty much holding threshold right now after getting the acceleration to start off with and some VO2 here. So yeah, I mean, it's not like it's an easy effort. It's just not, so such high into your anaerobic zones.
but my heart is about maxed out. 170 I will hardly ever see. And there was somebody making their move. I think that was a junior rider, and that was kind of her move to try to win. I think I heard her parents talking later. So I am going to try to see if I can get back in and recover a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think you needed to recover. You just needed to accelerate right there. Your heart rate's not maxed out. I mean, you probably had 10 beats left in you. I know you typically don't get to the 180s, but in the last lap here, you got to go. If they accelerate, you got to accelerate. You're fortunate for you that they slowed down here, but yeah, when there's the last lap, it doesn't matter if you were just setting tempo or not. When they go, you kind of got to go and jump on that. Now here, I think for sure you should sit in and recover. It's the last lap. You're kind of doing good by getting up to the front here. I'd try to slot in, maybe like 4th, 5th wheel if you could, and then just figure out where you want to be before that last corner. Do you want to be first coming out of the corner, 2nd, 3rd? You know what I mean? Things like that. Just depending on how long the sprint is and what you think you have left in you. You kind of want to see where do you want to be coming into that last corner.
And that's what I was trying to do, is get back over. But of course, everyone's trying to get and hold good position as this is going into.
This is the last lap. For sure. Yeah.
So there Ashley goes with half a lap to go, and she knows she doesn't have a sprint, so she was just doing what she could. And I can tell at this point that I'm pretty toasted.
Yeah. And Ashley actually has a better sprint than she thinks. She likes climbing the most, but she's not bad at sprinting. She's just not as fit as she was like last year and has been in the past. So yeah, it's not that she's a bad sprinter. It's just that's not her strong point. But she's competitive at sprints.
I think Ashley gets the highest race IQ for new riders.
Yeah.
So here, obviously I had nothing really left to give, and
yeah, and it was good too with Ashley doing that because it paid off for our team, and we ended up getting 2 second places out of this, 2 podiums. So Ashley got 2nd in the Cat 4 category, and Anastasia got 2nd in the Masters category.
Yeah, so this is it. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.